Bam, bam. What is up, guys? This is mYxZje and welcome to day 14 out of 30 day CSGO trading challenge with me as your guide. I've got plenty of tips to help you today going with your trading experience, and also I followed my own advice from day 13 and I got rid of my knife, even though it wasn't such a trading gain in the first place. You're going to see in day 15 how it all turned out, and tomorrow you will really see why I dislike trading for guts and flips and why it's so much better to just stick with the guns. So now that I've done rambling, let's get back to the blackboard. Today I've got 3 tips for you. The first one being, for the love of God, avoid statrak knives. Even though they might seem like a good idea on paper, they are really a bitch to get rid of once you get in, and you're most likely going to end up making an overpay just to get rid of them, which is, if you follow my channel from the start, something I never really do and want to do. I never want to be in a situation where I lose money in a single trade unless I do it for like what I call a tactical downgrade. So I downgrade to something that is more sought and probably will get me a better item in return. Tip number 2 is take statrak guns. So unlike the statrak knives, the guns are actually more valuable and more sought after than the statrak knives, and the reason because is there are guns that look so much better with the statrak. For example, USP, as you can see from the picture. Actually, I don't have a picture, but actually let me just get a picture. Let's give you a picture. As you can see from the picture, it adds a bit of a bulk to the USP, and it looks, well, this is of course always a personal preference, but it looks kind of stronger. I don't know, in my opinion. Without the statrak counter, it looks so bare and unable to kill, which actually USP is, but it gives you so much power when you get that statrak and just looks much thicker. And now the last tip is, do not, and please for the love of God, do not trade for well-worn skins if you ever want to make profit. And probably the worst thing you can ever do is trading for a statrak well-worn knife. Why? Because there's a thing with conditions on the CSGO that battle scarred is sort of an entry point. It's always going to be rusty, always going to be scratched, and always in a bad condition, and people are okay with that. They realize that this is the lowest point they can get some skin in, and they realize that. Then there is the field tested, which is the most common condition, and it has actually a nice range from well-worn look to a minimal wear look, which gives it appeal of actually being really close to the final product, but not yet so. Minimal wear also has its merit because it is really close to factory new, and in my opinion this is one of the most desired skin conditions, mostly because factory new is often way too expensive. For example, if you compare a statrak which is it, Crimson Web Desert Eagle and the factory new Desert Eagle Crimson Web, the difference is like 200 euros, and that's crazy amount for just one condition. And finally there is a factory new, which is the condition that of course is the most valuable, and if you can always get it. Of course it has the highest value, but some people prefer the minimal wear simply due to the minimal difference in look between the minimal wear and the field and the factory new, but still the price difference is giant. And you could probably notice that I excluded the well-worn because well-worn doesn't have this let's say defined niche in the sort of trading condition community, because it isn't entry point, it isn't something that can be nice look, it's just shit That's honestly the only word I can describe. And another thing is that it's actually the most uncommon out of the guns condition. Although don't quote me on that, since I'm not 100% sure, and this is just my experience with trading with them. And the next point is that they are really unstable in terms of price. So in one moment you might see a wellworn being worth more than the battle scar, then the next is going to be lower. So I just don't appreciate the uncertainty of what to expect from them, so I completely skip them, and I suggest you do the same. So this is a trap that you should always try to avoid. And yeah, that was it. I told you some things to avoid, and just like always, my advice is not going to give you an instant profit or make your trading god in one night, but rather educate you so you can apply those tips when trading and sort of improve a step by step, which is something I'm always striving for. So thank you all for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it, all the nice comments, all the feedback, and after all the views, I'm going to get some YouTube money from that, which is always nice, so I can maybe invest more in it. But yeah, thank you all for watching me. I mean my videos, not me.